Coach, congratulations on the win. You've got Goddard coming up. Talk about a little bit about what they do, and then give me three keys to beating them.
Yeah, I think Goddard their offense, they have a really good receiver. They have two really good ones. I think one of them's hurt, but they have two good receivers, and so you have to limit those two guys. They hurt us some last year, so I would say we have to limit the two receivers on their offense. I think watching the little film I have, they're physical. I mean, they were hitting people in the mouth, and so we have to bring the intensity to them and make sure that we're the physical ones. I think that's two. And then I think the third one is for our offense is we just got to get in a rhythm. And like it was even tonight, like we had times where we were in rhythm and we looked really good, and we had times where we looked like we're still kind of scrounging for some things. So I want us to get into a good rhythm, and I think if we do, we're gonna, get them going with some tempo and some things, and we're gonna do well. So I'd say tempo on offense, limit their two receivers, and then bring the physicality to them.
And then, Coach, how do you get your team to understand that they're not the 2-8 team that they were last year, even though they made the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, obviously their record's way better. I mean, I think our kids are going to see on film that they play hard. They have a lot of guys back from last year, and you go somewhere. My first year in Luzunas, I can't remember what we were, but we lost in the quarterfinals, and we weren't the same team the next year. We had a lot of guys back, and so I know they're going to be better, and that's what we'll talk about. Is these guys aren't the same team they have been. Second year under a new coach, a full off season with the new coach, and these guys, they're strength guys. Roswell's DC from last year, so just talking about all those things.
Sure. And then what do they run on offense and what do they run on defense?
They're like an RPO, kind of a spread team on offense. They're running the ball. They got a pretty good little physical back, but they're trying to RPO stuff to get to those two good receivers, and then they throw the ball down the field a little bit to those. They've kind of played two quarterbacks, the guy they had last year, and they played a younger guy this year as well. And then defensively, they play a too high safety look against us, and their Mike linebacker's a returner, and he's physical, and they like to bring him on to do some pressure with him. And last year they played like cover 2 man, what we call cover 5. So we got to prepare for that with some man things underneath. But we got to watch some more film before we know for sure. But they're physical.
And then what about their special teams, Coach?
Yeah, honestly, I haven't watched a lot of their special teams yet. But Art always did a good job in Roswell. They do things similar there, and so. They ran the Starburst, I think, a little bit. We haven't got to run it in a few weeks. Hopefully they give us a chance, but I think it's pretty standard special teams, but I haven't watched much.
So, and Coach, you're just taking things one day at a time, one game at a time. You're not overlooking anybody, thinking about playoffs or nothing right now, right?
No, I can't. I mean, I can remember a lot of things, but if I start watching, like this week I've watched a little bit of Goddard, but if I watch a ton of Goddard, then my mind starts melding game plans for two different teams. And
sure.
So I really try to stay in the moment. I come in on Saturdays, I watch all the film. Sundays we watch everything again, and then we start game plan stuff. So we're just 1 week at a time, and we'll see when the playoffs come where we get seeded and all those good things. So we got to make sure we go finish first.
Cool. Thanks, Coach.